You have to admit, there are some anime and manga that are held up by its side characters. I don't think Black Butler is one of them. Ciel and Sebastian stand on their own 2 feet just fine, but the side characters in this series are wonderful, and I couldn't complain when Black Butler Volume 32 was pretty much wholly dedicated to the backstory of Ciel's cook Baldo. At 32 volumes, I won't give you a large plot summary, but for reasons, many of the side characters are split into groups of 2, and they're all off doing their own thing because reasons. So Baldo and Lau are doing their thing. I don't need to tell you what the thing is, because out of 10 chapters in this volume, 9 of them are flashback. So it is entirely irrelevant. The main plot is entirely irrelevant in this. Which is obviously a downside to a lot of people. A lot of people don't want to get dragged down in flashbacks and things like that. Especially since I wouldn't say that these flashbacks are relevant to future plot. They're just exploring characters more than anything. I've seen talk online about how this arc is taking too long because it's getting dragged down by backstories. We haven't seen Ciel and Sebastian in the present for many volumes now, many chapters. And that's okay to me, because I am happy to explore these characters. I really love this series and I really love these characters. Given how the first pair was treated on their adventure, I wasn't too surprised when we got the backstory of our second Phantom Hive servant. The American soldier turned chef's backstory is as tragic as they come. But what impressed me, and what usually impresses me about Black Butler, is how it handles history. So with him being an American soldier, we are very specifically handling American history. So Black Butler itself is set in the Victorian era. It is pre-World War. There has been no World Wars yet, but there's probably going to be one soon. And across the pond in America, there is all-out war between Native Americans and new settlers. So Baldo's soldier history is against Native Americans, which obviously could be quite a sensitive issue, especially since Native Americans are struggling to maintain their identity and all sorts in America. I don't know the complete details, but I know it's not great for them at the moment, at any time, really, since colonialism. But I feel like this book did a really good job of handling that. It showed Baldo and the personal losses he took by Native Americans, but it also made a point of telling you how it got to that point. How Native Americans were pushed by settlers into this war because they had land taken from them, their resource taken from them, and it hit breaking point at some point. There's a really good panel in here that I really want to share, just how it reads. Our ancestors' dreams, their nightmare. Our expansion, their invasion. Our coexistence, their exploitation. I really think that shows a lot of like how that era went. Obviously, I'm not a Native American person, that only they can really judge if this is a sensitive issue, if this would be a trigger for them or not. But I'm always really impressed how Yana deals with a lot of history, and I feel like with this being a potentially sensitive topic, I'm really impressed with how she dealt with it. Overall, if you have invested enough time into Black Butler to read to volume 32, you don't really have a good reason to stop at this point. I highly recommend. Yes, it's all flashback, but Baldo's a good one, and you should read it.